47 minutes before 11 o'clock. Not a bad day. A little bit cooler than we've been experiencing. 64 degrees. And temperatures aren't expected to get a whole lot warmer than that. 71, the expected high. Tomorrow, the high of 73. Tonight, the low of 46. And that's the same for tomorrow night as well. So, and then it'll warm up for the weekend. And hopefully it'll be nice and mild for Halloween, because you don't want your candy to melt. Right?
You don't want to sweat in your costume. That's the hard part.
So it's time for higher education happenings. Mike Fallon is here. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Great.
How was the party?
Our party was fantastic.
Yeah?
It was wonderful. Yeah, thanks for asking. It was a really busy day, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of people show up. But how was it? The weather was good, right?
Yeah, we had a nice breeze. It was a little windy at times, but it was the temperature was great.
Yeah, we would have been, but we went to do an Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I know you stay busy with your with your group, or
It rained a little bit where we were. That's why I was wondering how it did.
Yeah, no, we didn't get rain. It was nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Well, good to see everybody again. Crystal, good to see you.
Good to see you.
And please remind me of your name.
Sure, I'm Jennifer Friends. I'm with CF.
Jennifer Fines. Well, nice to meet you, Jennifer. So we got 3 schools represented today, huh?
We do.
What kind of programs do they have right now?
Well, we're going to be speaking about arts. Am I right?
Yeah.
Arts.
The arts.
Yeah,
About the
the
arts.
arts.
All right.
Yeah.
It's an area I'm interested
Something
in.
dear to your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, I'm Mike Fallon with Webster University.
And I'm Jennifer Friends. I'm Dean for Arts and Education at the College of Central Florida.
And I'm Crystal Flynn. I'm the success coach for the UCF Connect Ocala campus, located here at CF.
All right. Success coach.
Yes. We have migrated and changed a little bit of our approach, and we used to be called academic advisors or general advisors, and now the role that I play is specifically aligned with students being successful. So it's a new model.
New pressure on you?
There's always pressure. I want to make sure I support students the best way that I can. That's, that's my job. That's, being a student's advocate and support system, but we're just aligned with hoping and encouraging them towards success.
So, Jennifer, I have something to ask you about the arts. When I was much, much younger, I was heading in that direction to be a commercial artist. And back in those days, there was no internet, of course. And I lived outside of New York City. So the prospects looked like I would be doing drawing floating underwear. Because they didn't allow models.
Yeah.
They didn't allow models. And they didn't even allow drawings of models wearing it. So you had to draw underwear as if it was being worn.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I kind of got turned off by that, although probably would have made a good living at it, I guess.
Maybe.
Drawing floating underwear.
Floating underwear.
So, but nowadays it seems like imagery is everywhere, and so I'm guessing the world of opportunities for any artist, whether it's commercial or not. Do you basically train for commercial art?
There is so many opportunities for students if they want to go into art, if they just love drawing. I mean, it's such a broad field. We were just talking about this, that the terminology is really hard to even follow, but the best thing for them to do is really just focus on getting their foundation skills when they're in high school, and then when they come to us, we have drawing classes, and then a lot of students want to go into the digital media program, and they want to go to UCF. They can come to us and get started. They can get their degree with us, and those students are funny because sometimes they come to us and they say, all right, I want to pursue that pathway, and they're used to being online, they're used to doing lots of stuff online, but when we say, okay, first step, drawing one, and they say, I don't want to learn how to draw. And we think, you know what, you have to learn how to draw because you have to know how to do it in your head and envision it before you're going to put it on the computer screen. And so that's the process that we have to kind of back them out and kind of say, all right, here are your fundamentals, and then they realize once they get through it that it really does make them a better artist. And then they go on to UCF. They have so many options for them. It's not just graphic design, web design, but these students can go on and they can do automation and simulation, web marketing, animation. Of course, a lot of them want to do animation and TV and film.
A couple of different kinds. That can even go off into different areas, radio and TV. There's all kinds of different, just like Jennifer said, we have a variety of different choices depending on where a student wants to focus, traditional art or moving away into something that's digital. And then there's lots of career options.
So if you want to take another step, you come on over
I do.
and we will enroll you and get you to set
there.
up.
I follow a lot of artists, and there's a couple of guys that have been doing the digital art on those little pads.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
I would love to learn how
Yeah.
to do that. And they're not that expensive.
No, they're not. The bamboo.
It's amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing what they can do. I can't doodle. I mean, I can't even write something, let alone create a piece of art on. It's amazing to me. I know you've all seen those. So if you get a tablet out and someone's sketching something that looks like it's in pencil,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I can't, add an address to the bottom of a photo. It's sad. It's sad. Clearly not my calling.
Something that I thought was really interesting that Dr. Frines brought up a few minutes ago was career and ways where you can be in the art field and actually make a decent living.
Right, because you were
Absolutely.
saying that's the number one question, right?
That is the number one question. I actually brought these cards with me because I'm so used to carrying them around. These cards we did for parents and caregivers, because that is the question that we get time and time again. The student is not who you have to sell and give the information to. It's the parent and the caregiver, anybody who's going to support that student in their life. They have this weird fear. It's not weird. I mean, I have kids and I want to make sure that they can take care of themselves.
Right.
But we give them this information and it instantly reassures them. And that information is that, not only are there tons of jobs, but these students who pursue this because they love it, if they do it smart, they are the happiest, among the happiest folks in the nation. And there's been a study to show that and prove it, because they're doing what they love. Now, when I say do it smart, though, let me
That's important.
say that a minute. They have to be really informed. These cards that we have, and we'll send them to anybody, and they're online. These cards that we have tell them the skills that they'll learn in our programs, but then they also have the actual names of the jobs. And I always tell the students, go search for these jobs, read the job description. That's going to tell you what you're going to be doing for that job, just to make sure that you should know the date and the names of these jobs that you're looking for. But also embedded in our curriculum, and I know that it's at UCF as well, and probably you all do this too, at Webster University, we do such a good job of making sure the students understand entrepreneurship, because they are not going to have just one job.
Right.
They need to know a basic concept of freelancing,
that's good news. That's good
contract,
stuff, yeah.
how to market yourself, professionalism in that market. Because no matter what they do, if they want to become a music teacher, for example, at a public school, they still probably are going to want to teach in a studio on the side. They need to know how to have a basic website, bill, market, contract.
So it's beyond just the basic skills for whatever that degree or the career that you want. It's all encompassing. You have to have those soft skills that are going to make you the ideal candidate to be hired.
Yes.
And then the reality of your focus is maybe graphic design, but eventually you want to own your own company and do something. And how do you get there? Well, you go through the correct pathways, the informed pathways. You get your degrees.
Oh, yes.
You get a job. I mean, we have lots of partnerships. Disney is one of the most popular partnerships that we have.
Yeah.
Our programs, especially in the emerging media fields. So you get that job that pays the bills and then affords you the opportunity to then do side work and other things that that's where your inspiration is until you can jump off and
Very
do that other
smart.
piece, or stay where you are if that's where you find your
That's
inspiration.
absolutely true,
and your
yeah, very
happiness.
smart,
But that's
yeah.
really critical. It's it's the old adage. I
Yeah.
know parents are concerned. That sounds like a fun thing to do, but can you make a living?
Right,
And we've got to
right.
find the balance. And I think organizations like what you were talking about, they do that. So it's kind of a rest assured. There is
Having you guys to lean on also for advice is a good, at that point in their lives.
And our faculty are incredible with that.
The other day, Robin and I judged the Create event at the library, and it was children or students who did some artwork. Some of it was amazing, right? And you know what I know is going to happen to them, because it happens to everybody who can do art, is the guy who's just written a book wants it illustrated, and he's going to pay you $50 a drawing, and you say no. The advice on what to charge is so it has to be driven home. They're going to be taken advantage of if they don't know those numbers. So.
We actually try to stop that process, or get it off to the right start, actually, I should say, really early on. We get a lot of requests at the college for people to perform for free and
I
stuff
bet
like
you
that.
do, yeah.
And we have a process and a way of managing it so that we take in what actually will be beneficial to the student. They do need to build a portfolio, and our faculty are great about talking with them about how to price things and what to charge, and what to stay away from. There's some things, we get some strange requests sometimes, some things that won't do them any good, but they do need to build up a portfolio. We actually have an advisory committee meeting this afternoon, and all of these industries that are here, there isn't, going back to digital media, there isn't one of them that doesn't have some sort of digital component. And so we've got probably 10 different industry experts who kind of give us advice, making making sure that we have things up to date. They also, through that committee, provide us with an opportunity for our students to do some co-ops and internships. And they're doing that pretty early on. We've probably been doing that program for 6 years now. And, from the start, even when it wasn't a part of the class, people would call and say, I need someone to help me with my website. I've even had stay-at-home moms call and say, I need someone to help me manage my photographs. I have so many photographs of my kids. I don't know how to get them. And in so many of those instances, we've been able to get the student, connected with that person, and they've done this small project, gotten a small amount of money, but they put it on their portfolio and their resume, and they can say, I'm already freelancing, and we haven't even finished them through the AA or the AS program. It's great.
It's just an example of how much work is actually out there. The fact that in a little town like Ocala, you're having people call you up all the time and asking for artwork. So,
well, can I bust that myth real quick? Because I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that the Ocala Municipal Arts Council did this economic impact for the study of the arts this past year, and they launched it, and it was wonderful. They used all the arts organizations, including MCA, Marion Cultural Alliance, and Fine Arts for Ocala, and the Magnolia Arts Exchange. They all got together, the ballet, the symphony, everybody, and the economic impact of the arts in Ocala is $56 million a year. So that's not just what the arts organizations spend, but that's what their audiences spend when they go to these things and exhibits in the museum and everything. And that equals 1,412 full-time jobs just in our greater economic region.
Wow.
So, there's the impact there.
Right.
So you may go off and get your degrees, but there's opportunities here. Right here for you to put that. You don't have to go off someplace to find that big
We've
job
passed the point where we have to say, well, we have the program for you. We have music, theater, dance, digital media, but you're going to have to go someplace else probably to get a job, but that's okay.
Right.
We don't have to say that anymore. I
love that. I love that. And that's a fear of parents, too.
Yes.
Everybody wants to keep the children as close as they can.
Yeah.
All right, we're up against a little break. Let's take that break, and we'll be right back. Interesting stuff. I want to hear about the other arts as well, the performing arts, as you mentioned, we touched on a little bit. We'll be right back. Mike Fallon, Dr. Jennifer Fines, and Crystal Flynn are in the studio. If you have any questions, by the way, you can call 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Lots of sunshine to enjoy today. Cooler and less humid, a high of 71 to 74. Clear and cool tonight, lows 45 to 55. Tomorrow and Friday are going to be partly to mostly sunny and gorgeous. High of 72 to 74 tomorrow. Temperatures warm a little for Friday, high 77 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Direct Connect to UCF, where students who attend the College of Central Florida and graduate with an AA or articulated AS degree are guaranteed admission to the University of Central Florida. Success coaches are ready and waiting to assist you in designing an educational plan that is right for you in any of their locations across Central Florida. Remember, connecting is easy and guaranteed. Find out more at directconnecttoucf.com.
With a graduate degree in management and leadership from Webster University, there'll never be a better time for you to explore what's next in your career. Classes are scheduled so you can continue your normal workday routine, and the accelerated program means a new term starts about every 10 weeks. If you're looking to gain a broad general management and leadership perspective, then Webster University's Management and Leadership degree program is the right one for you. It's all a part of what's next at Webster University.
Go to webster.edu/manage, accredited by ACBSP.
The College of Central Florida is committed to being your first choice for quality higher education. CF has locations in Marion, Citrus, and Levy counties and offers more than 60 academic programs. Earn a certificate, associate, or bachelor's degree. With Florida's 2+2 program, a student can complete an associate in arts at CF and be guaranteed admission to a state of Florida university. CF is ranked number 13 in the U.S. for affordability, is military friendly, and offers a full student life experience. Make CF your first choice. Call 352-873-5800.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock, 64 degrees. Let's return now to higher education happenings. Mike Fallon is here with Crystal Flynn and Dr. Jennifer Fines. We're talking about the arts programs at the schools.
We are, and we're having a great conversation so far. There's a lot to talk about.
Definitely are. It's an area that I've known a lot about throughout my life, and the one thing that you're saying, all the right answers, because if you're a young person trying to make a living with this, it's not, sometimes somebody with an artistic attitude, I guess. We always say, well, they don't have a business brain, but the truth is they do if you apply it, right?
Yeah,
Or what are
correct.
you really going to do? That's nice that you like to draw. But what do you
Right.
really, or that you like to play video games and maybe think about making your
Right.
own. But what do you really want to
Right,
do?
right.
And the answer is you can really do that. You can really hone your skills and take the appropriate classes and utilize the resources that we offer at each of our universities and our colleges that will give you the skills to get you there, to get those real live degrees that pay well and have amazing career opportunities.
Yeah.
And not just that you can, you should, because
Right.
if you love it that much, you are going to be more successful.
Exactly.
If you force yourself, and I've had students in my office who, really were pushed towards a degree that wasn't in their passion, and now, a semester in, they're deciding to change, and that's rough for them.
Their focus
But,
isn't there,
Fine,
right.
that's right. So if that's what they really love, that's what they should. And so we were talking about the business side of it, how important it is for them to really have that. And I know a lot of students who double major in business.
Sure, it's a great idea. And in the business world, if you're in marketing or public relations or even sales, web design and graphic design are two skills that will be invaluable to you. And if that's on your resume when you're applying
Yes,
for a job,
right.
oh, you mean you can make a
Absolutely.
flyer for us, and it's not just something in Photoshop or in
Right.
PowerPoint,
Yeah.
Exactly.
you can produce high quality design
Yeah.
that you can utilize in those fields, and it's very, very important to have. And like I said, it gives you a little bit of a competitive advantage.
There are two ways, pretty much, and you guys can comment on what I'm about to say. One is to work for an employer, and as you mentioned, the other is to be an entrepreneur. And then there's the in-between, the guy who has the contract with Disney, let's say,
Right.
but he's not obligated to Disney.
Right, right.
And I like that one. I like the fact that you have a job to
The
check in,
blend.
and in the evening, if you want to make a little extra money, that work doesn't belong to Disney, because that's part of it too.
True.
The law, the legal part of art,
Yeah.
especially when you're working for
And
Disney.
you're not locked into one creative outlet either if
Right.
you have multiple skills. And we were just talking during the break that what if you love all of this, but that's not where your skill set is? Maybe you're not artistic, but you love the arts and you love entertainment and that idea and that concept. With us, you can get a degree in event or entertainment management. You can be totally on the other side of the house, as they say, coordinating and managing the talent that has come to
Oh,
us
yes.
for all of those other
Yes,
degrees.
yes.
So you love that field and that business and industry, but you're not one of the players in that regard.
Right, right.
You can get a degree and then maybe add to that a business degree
I often-
and
Yeah.
lead in management.
I know. I often wonder when we speak to art directors at like the different publishing people that we work with. I often wonder, are they artists also? How did they become an art director? Is that true for you guys? I mean, are you artists and as well as teachers?
Well, most of the faculty where I am and the staff, yes, at some point they started out. I mean, I started out as a musician, but I knew early on that I loved administration, and so I went into art administration, and here I am. But for 5 years, at some point mid-career, I was an artist agent management representative, and so we managed performing arts groups, dance theater companies that tour around to places like the Phillips Center in Gainesville, things like
Nice,
that.
nice.
So I always say, okay, I worked in the private sector for a while, so I got a sense of the contracts and the business and all that other stuff. And it does help me inform the students a little bit more. So if there's a student who's interested in arts administration, I can kind of say, gosh, there's this whole field open to you.
Right.
They love to play. They want to come with us and get a degree in music, for example. They want to go on to UCF and complete, but they're not exactly sure if they want to try to make a living performing. And maybe, we usually tell them, okay, studio musician is one place where you can actually get work. If they don't want to try to do that, or they don't want to be a public school teacher, a music teacher, they can go into arts administration. And there's, you mentioned recording artists.
Right,
there's
right,
this
right.
whole field. So just to give you a sense of, the listeners a sense of how packaged it is, you can come to CF and get an AA degree in music and theater and visual arts and digital media. And then we prepare you that entire time to get ready to go into that limited limited admission program, because you do have to get into these programs. You have to do a fair amount of
Right.
It is sort of like an audition. You
It
use
is.
the,
It
use the
is.
right
Yes.
word in a way.
Yeah,
is.
that's what they call it, limited admission. They can't take everybody to these programs, so you have to work really hard from day one with us to get ready. But we give you those skills and that support to do that, and then it's beautiful because we get them ready and they can go see Crystal. And I'll let you take it from there and tell them what happens after that.
So we have the Direct Connect partnership with CF, so that's a guaranteed admission admission to the university with an earned AA
Yes.
degree
We're running
in
an
all
ad
of
for
these
that, by the way.
fields. Wonderful. We appreciate that very much. And then we can prepare. That's one of the roles that I serve is I support students as they transition from the State College to UCF and go to our main campus to pursue theater or graphic design or one of the other, digital media, emerging media, any of those majors that were business, finance, marketing, public administration. So we have that partnership. Some of those programs are, like Dr. Frein said, limited access, which means even though you're guaranteed admission to the university, there are still additional steps to qualify and be admitted to that specific major and program. So if they come see us early, we can support them through the entire transition, get them prepared. And then there's local options too for business. Not every student can go to our main campus. We'd love them to, but what's great about the partnerships here locally is they also have opportunities with Mike at Webster, which just celebrated the
20th anniversary.
Yes.
20th anniversary here.
Yes.
That's a great point, because even if you get a 4-year degree in musical theater or something like that, and maybe you want to go back and get another bachelor's degree in business because that's something that you need, you don't really need to go back and get a full degree at an undergraduate level. At the graduate level, schools like Webster University will take any undergraduate degree because our programs are all inclusive. So you could get an MBA in a year and a half after you finished a bachelor's degree
Nice.
in musical theater, and then you could maybe run a theater.
A local playhouse or something here, if that's where you want to do.
You're going to
yeah.
get a touch of finance
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
accounting. So, I mean, there are some options. We locally don't really offer much in the arts. So that's why I'm a little bit on the side today, but I'm really enjoying this conversation because it gives me lots of ideas. Because we might even have an MBA grad that needs a little graphic design. They
Sure,
need to know
sure,
it
sure.
because they're using it, and it's expensive to hire out those services.
Right.
So it's a great conversation.
The theatrical arts, the theater, the live play, like they do at the Civic Theater and at the Riley. Do the classes in the arts programs include those things? And I don't know if acting is necessarily
Absolutely.
where I want to stay, but the whole world of all they
Performing.
do, the writing and the directing, is all of that part of it?
Yeah, they get started with us, so they can follow the AA track and declare theater as their concentration. And our program is so great because those students get a lot of stage time, and we've been told that by our alums who go on to other places.
Yes.
The juniors and seniors at those places don't have as much stage time as our students when they enter as juniors because our program is smaller. They get just, tons of stage time, which is really, really valuable.
Yes.
The more
Yeah.
you can do that, they get an opportunity to try their hand at some student directing. They get to touch upon all of it, and then when they get to that next place, they kind of hone in. Say they go to UCF, they become a specialist in something. Maybe they want to become a specialist in technical theater.
Exactly. So we have multiple theater majors, whether you want to act or you want to do stage management or design, you can pick that particular focus and finish your bachelor's degree just in that area. But you've come from an AA degree that gives you all the experience Dr. Frein's just shared. So I can't think of a more well-rounded and more,
It gives them
prepared
a
student.
huge edge, a really big edge. So.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of opportunities out there for illustrators and artists, and there's a fine line between fine art and whatever illustrating, I guess. But
And we even have a certificate in graphic design now that we've just started. So we used to get a lot of calls. People say, "I just want to take a class." They
Right.
just, they're interested, but the idea of a whole degree is psychologically a little bit too much for them just to get started. And for those folks, we have, a 12-credit certificate that they can take, 4 classes and come out with the skills, like you said, like an MBA. They can be that's an asset for them, for their company to have, because graphic design, to contract out that work is really expensive.
Web design.
Web
as well.
design, yeah,
Very, very
absolutely.
expensive.
Will you all be having another one of the fairs like you just had at CF
We do
anytime
that
soon?
once a year, absolutely. And so every September you can look for that, and where we host, UCF will be there. We host the next, so we always call it the next step. So it's our arts transfer fair. The places where our students will want to go next, we have them come to us instead of our students having to spend time going all over the state. They get to speak to representatives in these limited access programs, right all in our
I
DeSantis
love
Fine Arts
everything
Center.
you're saying.
It's great.
It's so
Yeah,
promising.
it's all right there for them.
So, the young kids we saw the other day at that create event, they're dying to do something with this
Yeah.
talent that they've got.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have an avenue that they can take to get to where they want to be.
Yeah.
I hope they hear this.
Yeah.
If you're listening, please share this video with somebody young or anybody really who might want to pursue the arts. Mike, we've got about 2 minutes left. Do you want to wrap it up?
Well, just Mike Fallon, Webster University. You want to check out our programs at webster.edu/Ocala.
And Jennifer Frines at College of Central Florida. That's 873-5800, or you can see a lot of the information is on our website, www.cf.edu.
And you can connect with the University of Central Florida at ucf.edu, and our campus here locally, the UCF Connect Direct Connect office, is located in the University Center here at CF, and you can dial that same number and ask for our extension, and they'll transfer you through. Our spring deadline is fast approaching. It's November 1.
Wow.
So if you are finishing up your AA and ready to start with us,
that's Wednesday.
it is.
Wow.
Then come see us before then. I still have some appointments available, and I'd be happy to help you.
All right, and call us if you need any of that repeated. We have all the information here, and of course, this interview will be up as a podcast by 2 today. Share it off of Facebook or YouTube. We have it in both places. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Lots of sun.